I just wanted to make an awareness video quickly for you. One of my MS friends had posted a graphic in her group taken from an article that I wrote on neuron death with multiple sclerosis, and it raised some questions on what is end-stage or severely advanced multiple sclerosis. So I'll try to answer some of those questions raised in the group and that I also received by messenger. First of all, not all people with multiple sclerosis will reach that stage. 10 to 15% of us will advance to that point with our multiple sclerosis, but not everyone will reach severely advanced or end-stage multiple sclerosis. So what is it? How do you tell if you went from advanced multiple sclerosis to severely advanced? And what's the difference between being just severely progressed and actually rated as a severely advanced multiple sclerosis? Most doctors will be able to give you your disability score. They use the EDSS score or the FSS, your functional system scores, and they can tell you your expanded disability score or your FSS score or both if you ask. You'll be able to tell how they rate your functional systems, vision, self-care, your actual physical care. They will be able to give you your score, and you'll know if you are now rated as advanced, severely advanced, if you reach that point in your progression. Only 10 to 15% of us have that rare course that progresses to reach these stages. Now, if you are an advanced MSer, you might be in a wheelchair. You might use a walker part of the time, a wheelchair for longer distances. For example, we're all different. This is a snowflake disease. You might need assistance putting on your shoes, lifting certain things, opening certain things. You might need assistance with some daily care. You might have a caregiver or loved one there to help you with some of the activities during the day, but you can still do others for yourself. Some can even still drive, some cannot, but you actually have to reach the point that you score an 8.5 or above on the EDSS scale, or 4 or 5 on different functional measures on the FSS scale to be severely advanced. Once you reach that stage, you know you're severely advanced when you are under 24-hour care. You cannot perform any of your self-care functions yourself. You have someone who does all of that for you: bathing, dressing, feeding, toileting. Everything's done with assistance. You no longer go and take your bath on your own. You're given sponge baths or occasionally showered with a nursing assistant. You might have skilled nursing in your home. You might be in a skilled nursing center. You might be in a nursing home, but it can also be at home with, you can also have your loved ones act as your caregivers as you progress through this stage. But you're under 24-hour care. The reason being, you cannot function independently at all. At that stage, once you go over that rating, there is no self-feeding. There is no dressing yourself. There is no toileting by yourself. This is all done with assistance. Now, many MSers who are part of that 10 to 15% stay at that advanced stage. It does not mean you will progress to end stage. severely advanced. So don't have that fear of if you become an advanced MS or oh, you're immediately going to that end stage. This is not a common stage to reach, especially at a young age. But we do exist. There are people with a very aggressive form, a very aggressive course to their disease. Does this mean the only people who reach this stage are those who had primary progressive MS their whole life, or who have secondary progressive MS and have an aggressive course? No, you can have relapsing remitting MS and have such a severe relapse, or it turns so aggressive that yes, you can end up in a nursing home with those types, but those cases are very rare. I do have friends who, unfortunately, that has happened to in their disease course. So it does happen. It's a possibility, but it's very rare. So it's not all progressive types of MS that can reach this stage. It's not about your type. You can have primary progressive MS, secondary progressive MS, and not be severely advanced. It doesn't mean that's exactly what's going to happen to you. It's a snowflake disease, and our disease can take very different courses. So this is a very unique stage to MS. It's a very sensitive stage to those MSers and their loved ones who have reached this stage. They get very, let's say, they need a break sometimes from those who have full ability, but it does not mean they no longer celebrate the fact that you still have full ability. They still champion their fellow MSers who still have those abilities. It's just such a painful time when they start losing use of their arms, needing suctioning, choking constantly, going into dystonic attacks, having to be watched 24/7, having to have a loved one who used to be just a loved one, a partner, become a caregiver, toileting, bathing, dressing, to the point that it's 24/7 is quite sensitive, and they need special support. So if you see them discussing being severely advanced, don't be afraid of them. It doesn't mean it happens to everyone. It's not contagious. So, and it's not that you can't talk about still walking or walking a few steps, or still being able to cook for yourself, or still being able to sit there in your wheelchair and feed yourself. It's not that we don't like to hear those abilities and champion every single accomplishment and victory in our community. It's just we have to take a break from that sometimes, because it's hard to work through this stage and still see our purpose and what a great contribution we can still make to our community. So don't fear those words if you see them in a video like in mine, and don't be afraid of the articles and the scary pictures. Just ask questions and know that there are some amazing breakthroughs coming for our disease, and there is hope. Love you, warriors.